Welcome to the final Sports Jam of May. I'm Jay Wilcox.
And I'm John Jacobson. Today on the show, highlights from conference golf and track and field meets, plus section play in baseball and tennis. And Jay takes a look into the world of synchronized swimming in our Sports Jam Spotlight. Let's get started with the section softball playoffs. Wayzata and Hopkins split their two regular season games this spring. The third-seeded Trojans and second-seeded Royals met in the third round of the Section 6-3A playoffs. Bottom of the first, Wayzata gets on the board first. Casey Palish grounds a single into right center field. Steph Kirk scores, and it's 1-0 Trojans after one. Hopkins comes back in the top of the second. Haley Den Hartog lines one past pitcher Kristen Enbloom and into center field. That brings Josie Reese in, and the Royals are in front 2-1. In the third, Reese gets one of her three hits in the game, hitting one into the right center field gap. Aaron O'Neill scores. Hopkins is up 3-1. Fifth inning, Wayzata pulls to within a run. Edblom gets an infield single off shortstop Reese's glove. Casey Palish scores, but Ronnie Angel is tagged out of third to end the inning. Hopkins still leads 5-4. And the Royals put the game away with 5 runs in the seventh inning. They advance in the winner's bracket final with an 11-6 win. Maple Grove comes into the week as one of the two unbeaten teams in Section 5 3A softball. Top-seeded Maple Grove meeting Champlin Park. A good start for the 9th-seeded Rebels. Kara Stuckmeyer singles to left field. Maggie Craig comes home with a run, and it's 1-0 Rebels in the first. But Maple Grove responds with a huge bottom of the first. Taylor Bratton walks with the bases loaded to score Josie Rail. It's 2-1 Grove. Gabby Oakley walks 5 batters in the first inning. Brianna Basil rips a pitch down the line and left here. Goes all the way to the fence. Emily Zimmer and Sarah Southern score. Maple Grove leads 4-1 on Basil's double. Next batter is Michelle Gorsett, and she comes through with a run-scoring hit to right center. Bratton and Basil score. Maple Grove wins 8-4. They added a win over Coon Rapids to move into the winner's bracket final against Irondale.
5 local schools are part of the 11-team Northwest Suburban Conference, and there's plenty of talent at the conference track and field meet. This is Joe Stevens of Champlin Park in the shot put. Stevens' best toss is 54 feet 10 inches as he wins the shot title. Creighton Daniels of Park Center in action in the triple jump. Daniels takes first for the Pirates at 46 feet 2.5 inches. That's 2 feet ahead of the second place finisher. Brianna Puckett of Osseo set the meet record in the long jump last season. This year, Puckett settles for 4th place as she goes 15.3.5. The jumping events moved indoors because of rain. Madison Ordner of Maple Grove clears 5 feet here to tie for 3rd in the girls' high jump. Brennan Enright of Maple Grove clears 11.5, and the pole vault here, his best is 11 feet 11 inches, and he ties for 1st. Day 2 highlights and track finals. In the boys 4x800 relay, Zach Johnson anchors Champlin Park to the win. In the girls 100 meters, Osseo's Phyllis Webb is just edged out by Blaine's Taylor Morgan in a close race. Same race on the boys' side. Emmanuel Egbajor wins it for Champlin Park. In the boys 4x100 relay, Armstrong takes the top spot with Duncan Harless anchoring the race for Armstrong. 4x200 relay, Fawaz Oba anchors Osseo to the win. Their time 1 minute 29.85 seconds. In the boys long jump, Daniels takes second in this day for Park Center. His best jump is 21 feet 4 inches. Back on the track, Park Center 8th grader Fashayo Iobombadeli has just enough to win the 400. As we look at the final team scores, Blaine wins the boys title by a point over Champlin Park. Other locals, Maple Grove in 6th, Park Center 7th, Armstrong 9th, and Osseo 10th. The Elk River girls edge Blaine to win it. Maple Grove is 4th, Armstrong 7th, Osseo 8th, Champlin Park 10th, and Park Center is 11th.
Now to baseball. In Section 5-3A, Champlin Park is the number 2 seed. The Rebels face defending section champion Ticino Grace with some rain falling. Memorial Day, Monday evening, bases loaded. Bryce Marquardt drives one to the gap in left center for the Rebels. Kip Youngquist is the second of 2 runners to score, and it's 3-0 Champlin Park. Still in the second, Matt Smith smacks a single to left. Marquardt is the second of 2 to come home, and Champlin Park is all over Grace early with a 5-0 lead. In the third, Ben Peterson grounds to deep short. Nice play by Marquardt, but Peterson beats it out. A run scores, and Totino Grace is on the board. Some glove work here as first baseman Jason Anderson makes the diving stop to end the top of the third for the Rebels. Fourth inning, Smith delivers another big hit for Champlin Park as the Rebels take a 7-1 lead. They hold off the Eagles' rally to win 9-6. Maple Grove beat Park Center in a loser's bracket game Monday. Champlin Park and Coon Rapids meet in the winner's bracket final Friday night at Midway.
Section 6 3A baseball has had its share of upsets and low seeds advancing in recent seasons. Top seed Wayzata hoping to avoid an upset against Richfield. Richfield's Raheem Hampton with a hit down the left field line in the top of the first. Duncan Peterson and Ryder Klopp score, and it's 2-0 Richfield. Hampton standing on second. In the bottom of the second, Wayzata gets one back as Joe Hubert delivers a base hit to center. Jake Ewell scores on the play, and the Trojans are within 3-1. In the third, Ewell comes through as a hitter, singling to center to bring Matt Blanchard in. The Trojans still trail at this point, though, 4-2. In the bottom of the fourth, Wayzata grabs the lead. Jack Sorensen lifts a fly ball to center, deep enough for Michael Faco to score. It's 5-4 Trojans. Richfield answers as the throw on Bailey Olson's bouncer will pull the first baseman off the bag. Olson's safe, and a run scores as the Spartans retake the lead 6-5. But in the bottom of the seventh, Sorensen comes through with another big sacrifice fly. Daniel Davis dashes in to score the winning run as the Trojans win it 7-6. Also in Section 6, Armstrong faces third seed Edina. A good start for the Falcons as Brady Johnson tags one to deep left field in the top of the first, and it bounces to the wall. Pinch runner Zach Munsterman scores, and it's 1-0 Armstrong on Johnson's double. They extend the lead in the fourth as Danny Carlson singles up the middle. Nick O'Hara races around to score from second base, and it's 2-0 Falcons after 3.5 innings of play. But Edina answers in the bottom of the fourth as Mitchell Larson drills one a long way to right center. Stephen Kalina and Coleman Foley score on the play. The Hornets tie it up 2-2 on a double by Larson. An inning later, they go ahead as Mark Hanberg pounds a hit to left center. Ryan Searles and Matthew Hopner come home to make it 4-2 Edina. It's a triple for Hanberg. And after a little early trouble, pitcher Hopner is superb as he fans 15 Falcons, and Edina wins at 4-2. Armstrong beat Kennedy later to stay alive. And straight ahead on Sports Jam,
highlights from conference golf plus section tennis and more. We'll be right back.
welcome back to Sports Jam.
Time now to talk golf and conference tournament play. Holly Sorensen and Park Center, one of the 5 local teams playing in the girls' Northwest Suburban Conference Tournament. Erica Weber knocks in the short putt on the West Course's 4th hole. The Champlin Park player turns in the Rebels' low score with a round of 97. Emily Pedersen of Osseo saves par with a nice putt on the 4th hole. She leads the Orioles with a round of 95 as the Orioles place 8th. Sarah Santowski of Armstrong turns in one of the shots of the day. Her chip shot for the bunker, number 2 East, drops in for a birdie. Great shot for the freshman who shoots 90 on the day to lead the Falcons. Just a few moments later in the same group, Maple Grove's Kristen Stoffels rolls in a 25-footer for birdie. She shoots an 86 to lead the Crimson. Blaine wins the conference tournament and the overall Northwest Suburban Conference title for the spring. They finished 24 shots ahead of runner-up Elk River. Armstrong places 5th, Maple Grove 6th, Champlin Park 7th, Osseo 8th, and Park Center 11th. Northwest Suburban Conference boys golfers take their body of work for all conference tournaments into consideration to determine their league champion. Osceo's J.J. Svak teeing off in the East Course's 2nd hole a day earlier than the conference girls tournament. The Orioles placed 7th. Jake Herdine of Maple Grove knocks in a short putt on his way to a round of 79 for the Crimson. His teammate Jackson Lanou with a nice chip on number 4 East. He would make that putt for a birdie on his way to shooting a 1 over par round of 73. We'll hear from the conference champion Crimson later in the show. After taking a drop on the West Course's 9th hole, Champlin Park's Anson Kuznick makes a nice pitch onto the green. Kuznick shoots a round of 69 to win medalist honors for the tournament. Ryan Myers of Armstrong rolls in a birdie putt on the par 5 fourth hole on the East Course. He shoots a 79 for the Falcons. Here are the final team scores for the boys. Maple Grove wins with a score of 307. Champlain Park ties Andover for second place. Armstrong is fifth in this tournament, third overall in the conference for the season.
Meanwhile, a wet day for the Lake Conference Golf Championships. This is Jessica Nelson of Wayzata playing in the rain at Ridges of Sand Creek in Jordan. This is Nelson on the green at the par 4 12th hole. She drains the putt for a birdie on her way to a 2-over par round of 74 and medalist honors. Her teammate Sarah Burnham is close behind. Burnham shoots a 76 for the Trojans as they're in the hunt for the conference title. In the boys tournament, Hopkins finishes third overall. This is Connor Hall. He'll miss a birdie try here, but makes par on the first hole and shoots a round of 78. Wayzata's Jack Holmgren is steady even in the bad weather. Holmgren shoots a 2-under score of 70. His younger brother Van Holmgren sinks a par putt on a great day for the Trojans as the Wayzata boys win with a score of 289. Minnetonka is second with Hopkins third. Jack Holmgren is the tournament medalist. Edina wins the girls' championship with Wayzata in second, just one stroke back. Nelson wins the medalist honor. Section golf play is this week. In boys tennis, Wayzata is aiming at a state championship. The Trojans faced off with old rival Edina for the 6AA title. Edina's John Yang serves at number 3 singles to Matt Tropsha. Yang's return of Tropsha's volley will be into the net. The Wayzata senior takes this match in straight sets. To first doubles now, Jack Graven and Steele Kowalczyk in the near court facing Tyler Cuck and Michael Jacobson. Good play at the net results in a point for Wayzata's team. Later, an ace serve for the Hornets that ties the first set at 6-6, but the Trojans go on to win 7-6, 6-3. Max Olson of Edina is one of the state's best at number 1 singles. He faces Dustin Britton. Olson is steady at the net and gets the point on his way to a 6-2, 6-4 win. But the Trojans pull the match out. Nick Beatty at second singles wins a 3-set battle over Xander McDonald. Wayzata wins the match over Edina 4-3, so it's on to state for the Trojans.
Yeah, it was a great match. I mean, Edina, I thought, really improved and played a great match. And again, it went down to the wire, and again, they pushed us. They beat us at 2 and 3 doubles, where we're very strong, and at 1 singles, Max Olson, played a great match. So it was a great match, and I thought, all 7 points were competitive, and we're lucky to get through this one.
In Section 5AA, Maple Grove looked to make it 2 straight section titles as they faced Moundsview in the 5AA final. Number 1 singles, Zach Atkins for Maple Grove, Jacob Bartels for Moundsview. Atkins gets the point with a nice lob shot over Bartels. Later, Bartels tries the serve and volley, but a wicked passing shot by Atkins wins the point, and he wins the match in straight sets. Number 2 singles, Charlie Atkins serving for Maple Grove, sets up the backhand winner. Jake Tronson serves for the Mustangs. Atkins will win the point with a great touch volley. He wins 6-2, 6-1. At number 3 singles, Maple Grove's Sam Hochberger will crack a perfect passing shot on Hunter Krebsbach. Hochberger wins the match. To first doubles play, Derek Marvin serving for Maple Grove. His partner Trevor Kleinshay with the winner. Maple Grove sweeps the singles matches to win 4-3.
Now to lacrosse, where the Champlain Park and Wayzata boys met in a matchup of top 10 teams last week. Wayzata's Alex Sorensen takes the pass, lines it up, and buries the shot. The Trojans take a 2-0 lead in the second quarter. The Rebels answer with this one as Luke Dahlman catches the pass and scores. Champlain Park is within 2-1. The Rebels tie it on the power play as Ryan McNeil sets up Max Turgeon for the goal, and it's 2-2 in the third quarter. It's Dahlman to Turgeon to Connor Smith for the goal here. As Champlain Park goes up 3-2 on the Trojans on a beautiful night. Cody Schmidt goes up high with the shot to bury it as the Rebels get their 4th straight to take a 4-2 lead. Champlain Park picks up a 10-6 win over a good Wayzata club.
The Armstrong girls lacrosse team finished a perfect 9-0 in Northwest Suburban Conference games this spring. Last week they faced rival Cooper in a non-conference game. First half, the Falcons' Kelsey Osnick finds Amy Master with the pass. Master scores to give the Falcons a 5-2 lead. Heather Koluzniak starts a run, then spots a cutting Mari Verbaten, who goes in to score, and it's 6-2 Falcons in the first half. Cooper's Haley Sundquist runs out from behind the Armstrong net, shoots and scores one of her 2 first-half goals. That makes it 7-3. Nice teamwork here for the Falcons. 3 quick passes, and then a shot and goal from Master. Armstrong leads 8-4 at halftime. Early in the second half, and Kaluzniak with a good run to the Cooper net. She buries the low shot for a goal. Armstrong goes on to win over Cooper 18-6. That sets up playoff time in lacrosse. In Section 5 boys, Totino Grace is the top seed with Armstrong second. Osseo Park Center is number 4, and Cooper 6th. Play starts Thursday with quarterfinal round games. In Section 7 boys, Champlin Park is the 2nd seed behind Blaine. Then it's Coon Rapids and Centennial. The Rebels host Forest Lake Wednesday. Wayzata is the top seed in Section 8 boys ahead of Orono and Maple Grove. Maple Grove and Wayzata are home in the quarterfinals Wednesday. On the girls' side, Armstrong is the top seed in Section 5 ahead of Mounds View and Irondale. Breck, Totino Grace, and Cooper are 5, 6, and 7. The quarterfinals are Thursday. Champlin Park's girls are the number 2 seed behind Coon Rapids in Section 7. Osseo Park Center is the 6th seed. Wednesday is the quarterfinal round. And Maple Grove's girls are the 2nd seed behind Elk River in Section 8. Wayzata is the number 6 seed. These games start Wednesday. We could see, and should see probably, a couple local teams in the state tournament this year.
Yeah, it should be an exciting playoff. Next up, the story of one of the most dominant local athletic programs around. They're one of the most dominant sports programs in Minnesota high schools in a sport that doesn't usually get a lot of recognition. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we gain some insight on Wayzata's powerhouse team and the sport of synchronized swimming. It is quite a streak. The Wayzata synchronized swimming team won its 7th consecutive state title Friday. The word dynasty comes to mind.
Well, I guess it's not a bad thing. Sometimes you feel a little pressure to keep it up. You don't want to be the team that loses that title. But it's definitely good pressure, and we want to keep building up that dynasty, I guess.
They spend a lot of time together, and the name of the sport gives a hint. The swimmers have to be on the same page and stay in sync.
Synchro is definitely a team sport. We all need to work together to make sure we're in sync and matching, like, everything. Like our wall, like for spins, our walls need to be the same. Like our angles need to be the same. We all need to, like, work together and match each other.
The Wayzata girls say the sport's harder than it looks. It takes a lot of skills, including the ability to keep time with their music and choreographed routines.
I was a music student, so I haven't had quite as much trouble with counting and stuff, but it definitely takes skill and practice to get that down as well. It's a part that not many people notice.
Especially because I'm taller, I don't think people really realize how much of a complete body strength you need. Getting control of my body in the water was definitely harder because you need all those little muscles like in your shoulder, your core, your legs, or your back even, and that's definitely a harder part of synchro.
Synchro, you want to make sure it looks easy, and the judges can tell if you're really struggling, so you want to make sure you present yourself the whole time.
The Trojans say their team and sport are getting more respect now at the school, but there is still definitely a lack of knowledge about synchro, leading to some interesting questions.
What we put in our hair, which is Knox gelatin. It is Jell-O, yes. It looks weird.
A lot of people wonder about our lifts, especially when we're not touching the bottom, because first of all, people don't realize that we don't touch the bottom, and that's a huge part because they're like, oh, I could do that, and it's like, well, try it without touching the bottom. And then when you're doing the lifts and the team routines, you have people flying off your, jumping off your shoulders, and I'm usually one of the people that gets jumped off of, and so that's always something weird. They're like, they jump off your shoulders?
Sometimes it hurts when people are like, yeah, synchro's not a sport, but I definitely can feel that there's more recognition coming about. The hardest part probably about that is that people take it for granted that we win state, where we definitely don't take that for granted as a team, and we work our butts off at every single practice.
As Ruth said, nothing's automatic. Wanting to excel but not putting undue pressure on is part of the equation for Wayzata.
It is kind of a healthy pressure that we put on ourselves to kind of keep going, but we're definitely working hard every year. I mean, every team in the area is improving every year, so I think it's kind of it's a thing that we have to keep working at.
You want to have this super great routine for the girls who have been around for a long time, and you want to make sure that the seniors have a good year, and you know what? at the end of the day, I can just do my best. My coaches are all striving to do their best. The girls are trying to do their best. And at the end of the day, it needs to be fun. It needs to be a journey, a process that we are all working together.
Wayzata won all 3 team events and 8 events in all at state. John talks golf with the Maple Grove boys when Sports Jam returns.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. The Section 5 3A golf tournament is this Thursday at Bunker Hills in Coon Rapids. Maple Grove Crimson will be the favorite to win the section and perhaps move on to the state tournament next week. And they join us this week on the show. And let's start with Jake Herdine. And Jake, talk about this season. It's been a tough season for weather. You had such a late start. But you played well in the month or so that you've been able to get on the course finally.
Yeah, we barely started at the end of April, so it was a late start for us. But we've had a great year, and we have a lot of depth this year, so that's made it fun. Where if a couple guys have an off day, we can still put up a good score.
Did you have the expectation coming into the season that you could win the conference championship?
Yeah, after last year, I think we got second last year, so I had a good feeling that we'd have a good year, and it turned out well. So we played well.
You're out at Bunker Hills today on Memorial Day, getting a little practice in for the section. How much does that help you? You played your conference tournament out here and getting another round in to get ready for sections.
Oh, it helps a lot getting the whole team out here and just kind of like a game plan almost for Thursday. Just got to play well and play smart too. So just find your way around the course, I guess, and put up the best score you can. So,
Jake, congratulations so far on a great season. Good luck Thursday.
Thanks.
All right, Jackson Lanou, tell me about this course at Bunker Hills and the layout here. What do you like about the course?
Well, up until this year, I don't think I've broken 80 out here. So 2 times I played out here, I've shot 73. So I'm starting to get the hang of things out here. It's got a good layout. I like the east-west. I'm just really excited for Thursday.
Winning the conference championship, how much of a goal was that, and how exciting is it to be a conference champion?
Well, it's pretty exciting, but the ultimate goal is to win sections and get to state. So,
yeah, how about the other teams in the section? Who's your top competition Thursday?
I think Rogers has been playing well. I know Morgan Rash, he senior, he shot 67 last week. So, I think if there's anyone that is gonna put up a fight, it's gonna be Rogers.
Jackson, good luck this week.
Thanks.
Turning now to John Pedersen, head coach of the Crimson. John, just the second conference championship and the first since you've joined the Northwest Suburban Conference. How much of a thrill was that for you and the players?
Oh, it was great, absolutely great. We are a confident team because we're anchored by a pair of just excellent seniors. But we've got some depth with Nick Adams and Connor Wilcox, Sam Franklin. All sorts of kids have contributed. Parker Hill has come out here and has enjoyed this course as well. So we feel strong.
Playing out a year at Bunker Hills, how much does this help you, having played conference here and getting another practice round in before Thursday?
Well, we think it's a great idea. The kids have, especially, we've got a lot of people who would say, let's go play golf each and every day if we could. So they kind of talked me into Memorial Day. Get together out here, and I think it'll be well worth it.
What about the course fits your kids' game well, do you think?
I think this is a course that has a kind of difficulty that starts separating teams, and we have some skilled players, so it brings the better teams to the top out here.
And Jackson talked about Rogers. You see the Royals as your top competitors for the section title?
Well, other than you mentioning it at the top of this show that we're the favorites, I hadn't heard that before. I think we've got a very strong team. I think that Rogers has a very strong team. We were competing in a 28-team tournament out here earlier this year, and we tied at 301. So we know that there are at least a couple and probably several good teams out here.
Good luck this week, Coach.
Thanks so much.
Maple Grove Crimson, again, they'll be part of the field in the Section 5 3A tournament this coming Thursday at Bunker Hills here in Coon Rapids. We'll take a break and come back and wrap up Sports Jam after this timeout.
And we are out of time. Thanks so much for watching Sports Jam. See you next week.